recognize that you're dealing with these toxic people, they will destroy you. They will destroy your ego. They will destroy your self-worth. You'll be putting up with a lot of crap that you shouldn't be putting up with. You'll be, second guessing yourself and thinking that there's something wrong with you. You've got to recognize who you are dating, okay? It's not about how they look. It's not about what they do for a living. It's about how they treat you and treat other people. Do they have respect for you, all right? And when I say respect, I mean they're not putting you down, okay? They're not going below the belt. They're not, not communicating or something along those lines. That's why you see a lot of strong, successful women with a lot of losers, okay, who are controlling their emotions, who are putting them down and making them feel like they're nothing, okay? We had a woman, she was a doctor, and she was dating some guy, and he constantly was putting her down. And we were trying to tell her, you are a doctor. You are an accomplished woman, okay? And you are listening to somebody who is a loser, who has nothing to show for their life, has nothing to show that they accomplished anything, and you're letting this person affect you, affect your emotions, affect your views? This is why I tell you guys, when you're sitting there and you're feeling bad about yourself because somebody said something to you, like they made a comment about your weight, or they made some kind of, derogatory comment to judge you, will you look at who is judging you? Who are they that is judging you? Who are they? First of all, nobody has the right to judge anybody else. That's number one, okay? No human being has the right to judge anybody else. So if somebody's sitting there and they're judging you, the first thing you have to say to yourself is, number one, I'm dealing with a toxic person. And number two, for them to be putting me down, it shows that they're insecure, okay? Somebody who's really secure doesn't have to put somebody else down, all right? I'm going to give you guys an example. It's like me. When I used to be dating, okay, I dated a lot and everything like that. I used to kill myself to try to look the best that I could look, okay? I mean, the hair, the nails, everything was on point, all right? Always tried to look great, all right? And I would date these people, and I would have good dates with them and everything, but it wouldn't work out. And why didn't it work out? And I used to sit there, and I used to feel insecure about it and say, it must be something with me, maybe they're looking for somebody else that, looks different or whatever. And then I said to myself, no. And even like one of my best guy friends, he said to me, it's the type of men you are picking. Okay? This is the biggest mistake that people make in dating. They pick the wrong people to date. All right? And I have been a victim of that. All right? I have picked the wrong people to date. So if you're sitting there and you're dating random people and you're not really looking at who they are, okay? You're just looking at, I'm attracted to them and they're kind of cute and they're being nice to me initially. They're always nice in the beginning, right? Let me see what they're about. Let me, go out on a date, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do what I should have done is have 6 to 8 conversations on the phone with them before meeting them to see if they were true blue, if they really wanted to know who I was as a person. These people were not interested in knowing who I was as a person. They were interested in knowing what kind of benefit they could get out of me. That was their goal because they really didn't care. And what was the problem? I picked the wrong people. And on top of it, you guys, all right, these people were very judgmental. And believe me, a lot of them shouldn't have been judgmental because some of them, had nothing really going for themselves that they could sit there with their head up in the air, high and mighty, to be sitting there and judging me. Okay? It took a long time to realize this for me, that, you know what? The problem wasn't me. The problem was who I was dealing with. The problem was I was dealing with somebody who didn't value me, who didn't see the worth in me, and who didn't care, who doesn't care about seeing the worth in anybody. That the only worth they see is in themselves, that they don't care. They don't care. They only care about themselves. And that brings me to the other issue. People that are selfish, okay? Huge red flag. Ding, 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 ding. You guys, you got to recognize these selfish people. Who are these selfish people? They talk about themselves. They don't ask questions about you. Some of them will ask you one or two questions the first time they start talking to you, but that is the extent of it. After that, it's all about them. You're going to hear everything about them if they even open up to you, okay? Or they'll talk about generalized things. How was work? Work was good. Oh, what do you think? It's going to rain today. Like these are fluff conversations. I call them fluff conversation because you get off the phone and you don't know anything about them and they don't know anything about you. I don't really consider that a conversation of getting to know somebody. That's just somebody, touching base with you, communicating with you, and making you feel like, they're interested. If they're interested, they will ask you detailed, specific questions about you, right? If somebody's really looking for something, of course they're going to want to know what you're about. They're going to want to know if you've got a good head on your shoulders. They're going to want to know if you're a kind person. They're going to want to know if you're a selfish person. How are they going to know that? They're going to ask questions, you guys. It's not just about, oh, you're so sexy in that dress, all right? So you got to know the difference. But I'm getting back to insecurities in dating. Here's what it is, you guys. Here's what it is. When you've been out there long enough, okay, this comes with experience, and you've dated enough people, and you've really tried your best, and then you find yourself that you're hitting a wall, you have to recognize that you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong and when I say you're doing something wrong, it's because you're either looking in the wrong places or you're picking the wrong people from the wrong places as well, okay? So you've got to you got to be focused, and you've got to recognize when you're dealing with insecure or selfish people, okay? Insecure people are the kind of people that always have to post on social media, and, they have to be seen and they need the likes and everything like that. Those are the insecure, and if it's not for their hustle, okay? If it's for their hustle, that's totally different. Like, in other words, they're trying to promote some brand, they're trying to promote an OnlyFans, or whatever it could be. That's totally different. That's somebody's hustle. But if somebody is sitting there and they're, they've got a post a picture or something like that, just for the attention, you are dealing with an insecure person, okay? And recognize it. Recognize it, all right? They need the ego fed, okay? The other thing that you got to understand is some people are social media whores, all right? I'm going to do a whole podcast on that. That's the person that constantly needs the attention on social media, okay? This is the person that is liking every girl's picture because they want some kind of feedback from her. They want her to, contact them back or something like that, and they could be in a relationship, but they just love their ego fed, you guys, all right? It's all about ego. They want somebody to come back and say, oh, thank you, with a heart or whatever, okay? It feeds their ego, okay? So you got to recognize when you're dealing with somebody who's truly, secure within themselves, and when you're dealing with somebody who is insecure, okay? Now, if you're an insecure person, I'm going to tell you the things that you don't do when you're dealing with somebody. You don't look for their validation. You don't ask them, how do I look tonight? Do you think I look good tonight? Or, oh, I thought you were going to call me. Or why didn't you call me? When you do these things, you guys, you are showing that you are insecure, okay? You don't let them know that you're feeling that insecurity, and you yourself should be validated within yourself to say to yourself, you know what? This is how I look. Either you like me or you don't. And if you don't like me, that's fine. There'll be somebody else that does, okay? Then you're not for me, or you don't see the value in me, or you're not looking for anything. You're just looking to waste my time and try to get some benefit off me, okay? So here's how it goes, you guys. When you're getting to know somebody and you're dating, okay, and you yourself are being a nice person, because you have to be a nice person, all right? I don't care how they are. You yourself, be respectful, be nice, okay? Hold your class. And when these people shoot you a criticism or they put you down, you don't sit there and you don't go toe-to-toe with them because you're better than that. You recognize that this person is putting me down because they are insecure. And if they're doing that in the beginning, it's only going to get worse. You are only seeing the tip of the iceberg, okay? They're just slightly showing you who they truly are, okay? And this is why I tell you, you've got to recognize the red flags. This is why people are in bad relationships, because they ignored the red flags, or they didn't recognize the red flags, or they thought they were going to change somebody. And now it's like a few years later, and they're in this crappy relationship trying to change somebody who's not going to change, okay? Who's breaking all their boundaries, who's doing what they want, who's putting them down, okay? Because they didn't see these signs in the beginning. The beginning is crucial, you guys. That's why I tell you, your cutoff game's got to be fierce. Go listen to my podcast on that, okay? Because I get into all of that. Because if you just let it go, what's going to happen is you're going to get more and more attached to this person, and it's going to be twice as hard to walk away when you saw those signs. Now, people are going to sit here and they're going to argue with me, and they're going to say to me, well, nobody's perfect. You got to give somebody a chance. Yeah, you give somebody a chance, you guys. But here's the thing. You want somebody who treats you right, okay? You don't want somebody who's going to be criticizing and putting you down. These people are going to make you miserable, all right? And people that do that are insecure people, all right? And most of the time, these people that put you down are the ones that should be looking in the mirror that their lives are a mess. Believe me when I tell you, that is so true. Most of the time, these people that put you down, they have their own issues, their own problems. They're just, they're a mess, okay? And they're the least person that should be judging you, all right? But this podcast was about recognizing that and coming into your own and having your power, okay? You recognize who you're dealing with, all right? And then you say to yourself, you know what? I'm not gonna let this person affect me. All right. Now, people say that's easier done than said. Yeah, it's true. But you have to really say to yourself, where is this coming from? Who is this person? Who is this person that is putting me down? What do they have to show for their life? Okay? Do they have a successful life, a successful relationship? Are they truly happy in their lives, or are they miserable and putting on a front? Okay? You really got to look deep into that person to see who you're dealing with. So now you've recognized that you're dealing with an insecure person. And now you got to realize that, you know what? You don't want to deal with that. Okay? So when somebody crosses your boundaries and criticizes you or judges you, you check them. Okay? Because if you don't check them, they're going to think that you're a dope, or they're going to think that, you're weak. Okay? So come off bitchy or anything like that. You just say, you know what? I really don't appreciate that comment. If you're going to say something derogatory towards me, then you and I will not be talking, okay? I'm showing you respect. I expect the same respect back, okay? And if you can't do that, then you and I should not be talking, all right? You're letting them know in a mature fashion how you should be treated. You have to teach these people how to treat you, okay? And if they don't get it or they don't want to get it, then you don't want to deal with that. Because if they can't respect that, they're not going to respect anything else that you tell them in the relationship, all right? They're not going to worry about calling you back. They're not going to worry about disappearing overnight on you because you took it and you're still there, okay? You have no boundaries. So you got to show people how to treat you, all right? And if you're dealing with somebody that's, very, very toxic, that just doesn't respect your boundaries, you got to get rid of them. If you don't get rid of them, you're going to deal with the mess, all right? That's just facts. You're going to deal with the mess. So you need to get rid of them. But here's the thing, you guys. If you're feeling insecure because you dealt with a lot of bad relationships and these people really destroyed you, broke you, you feel you maybe you've had trauma through all that you've been through, okay? You need to heal, okay? You either get therapy or if it's not that bad and you could heal yourself, the way you heal yourself is to educate yourself, okay? Education is power. Believe me when I tell you, education is power. When you educate yourself and you understand, then you get your power back because then you know who or what you're dealing with and you understand where things went wrong. And when you understand it, then you understand that it wasn't necessarily all you that was to blame, okay? And that's crucial. That is crucial because a lot of people that, are broken and everything like that, it's because they don't understand. They don't understand who they were dealing with. They don't understand that maybe they were dealing with a narcissist, that a narcissist could only love themselves, that no matter what they do, it doesn't matter. They don't understand that not everybody is courteous, all right? Not everybody will be courteous and treat you well, all right? Not everybody is a nice person in this world, you guys, and you got to understand that. And the way you understand that is to educate yourself. Educate yourself to people. There's different kinds of people in this world, and you've got to be able to spot them, size them up, and know who you're dealing with, okay? And this doesn't just go for relationships. This goes for everything in your life. This goes for business. When you're doing business with somebody, is this person trustworthy? Is this person reliable? Is this somebody I could do business with? Or is this person a shady fuck? Okay? Putting it bluntly, all right? It's the same thing with relationships. Same thing with relationships. So what you need to do is recognize your target, recognize what their character is. You need to educate yourself on who these people are. And then you have to say to yourself, I do not want to surround with people that do not lift me up. I want to be around people who lift me up, okay? And that's how you handle it. I hope that helps you guys. If it did, hit the subscribe button, share, and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz. I want to tell you about my 2 books that are on Amazon, okay? You can download them free with the trial membership from Kindle. The first book is Regain Your Power. If you're in a relationship and you feel like your partner has all the control in the relationship, maybe you're walking around on eggshells, you're afraid to approach them, it's going to tell you how to regain your power and be happy in the relationship, okay? And what you may be doing wrong, and that's why your partner has all the control in the relationship. The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time. There's a lot of people that are dating someone or in a relationship with somebody who's not really vested in the relationship. And We often are confused as to whether our partner really likes us or is into us or wants a future with us. And this book is going to give you signs and red flags of whether your partner is into you or he's just basically drifting and wasting your time. So go to Amazon and download the Kindle free trial membership. Doesn't cost you anything. And check it out. It may help you. Okay? And have a great day. Audible is offering listeners a 30-day trial. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free 30-day trial. You get to select any book that you want on there and listen to it. They have books on there about breadcrumbing, love bombing, why did they lose interest, dating, relationship, any kind of book you're interested in and want to learn about, okay? You could listen to it in your car or if you're on the bus or the train. So go to my podcast description for the link at tinyurl.com/AskYazNow and start your free trial.